Tomorrow, the midterm elections will be 30 days away, and at the same time, a very important Republican leader endorsed a bill that would make it more difficult to overturn presidential elections. That means this legislation could have a very good chance of becoming law. Before I tell you about who that Republican is and what this bill is about, I want to thank my TikTok subscribers for voting for this story for me to cover as a bonus this week. If you want to vote too, you can subscribe to my TikTok page only during my live event. The bill I'm talking about is technically two bills: the Presidential Transition Improvement Act and the Electoral Count Reform Act. These are bipartisan bills in the Senate, and as of last week, were proudly supported by Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Congress process for counting the presidential electors' votes was written 135 years ago. The chaos that came to a head on January 6th of last year certainly underscored the need for an update.
So what do these bills do? Overall, they reform the Electoral Count Act of 1887. That's the law that governs how Congress certifies the presidential election. These new bills would do several things, including provide clear guidelines for the transfer of power between Election Day and Inauguration Day, and give guidance on what should happen if neither candidate concedes. It firmly clarifies the vice president's role in certifying the election on January 6th is purely ceremonial. He or she has no power to reject or replace slates of electors. And most interestingly, it would raise the bar for members of Congress to formally object to a state's slate of electors. Instead of only needing one congressperson and one senator to team up to formally object to a state's slate of electors as it is now, this new rule would require 1/5 of the members in the House and 1/5 of the members in the Senate on board to officially object to a state's slate of electors. Now, I told you all these bills were bipartisan, and I'm not kidding. They have as many Republican co-sponsors as they have Democrat co-sponsors. And now with McConnell on board, the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is talking about getting these bills on the floor for a vote right after the midterms.